What's poppin' South Korea? This is your DJ Brian Ju and you're listening to TBS efm. Today's show is coming to you live from the dungeon yet again, and with the nice weather that we've been having all week, it actually doesn't feel so good to be down here because there's no windows down here. So whether it's raining, whether it's beautiful outside, we never know what the weather's gonna be. So actually I can't complain, because if it's misty outside, foggy, rainy, then I'd rather be indoors. But you know, all those days where it's nice and beautiful and bright like it was yesterday. Not sure how the weather is right now, but earlier it wasn't too bad on the way to work. And also, I'm excited because you guys are going to be able to listen to a very special open studio tomorrow, where I went to Yonsei University yesterday to record for you guys for Friday's show, of course. And we had Soul Supreme perform. A lot of great people turn out. It was fun. And if you guys want to be a part of that, you guys have to, email us to be a part of our open studio. But we're not sure when we're going to do our next outdoors open studio. But to be a part of our open studio, all the information. I'll give it to you in just a moment after our first song. But right now, like I said, the weather is getting beautiful outside, and that means a lot of people want to just party and get away from things, just give up school or, just miss out on work and just, you want to get away, go to the beach and just party it up. And for you guys, I want to dedicate this song, but be careful and listen very carefully because the word of the day is in the song. This is the Beastie Boys with You Gotta Fight for Your Right. And I'll be right back, y'all. That was the Beastie Boys with You Gotta Fight for Your Right. And you're listening to What's Poppin' on TBS EFM, and we'll be right back after a message from our sponsors. All right, welcome back to What's Poppin' with Brian. We're on TBS EFM 101.3 in Seoul and surrounding areas, GFN 98.7 in Gwangju, and 93.7 in Yeosu. Now, how do you get in contact with us here at What's Poppin'? It's pretty simple. You can simply send us a text at sharp or pound 1013 for a charge of 51, or you can send us a tweet at EFM Poppin', or simply send us an email at efmpoppin@gmail.com. And if you want, send us a request. If not, just say hello. We just love to hear from our listeners. Also, if you want to join us for Open Studio, like I was talking about earlier, it airs every Friday, but we pre-record that special day every Wednesdays at 11 a.m. So if you want to get more information and want to be a part of our show and, call like your seating or whatever you call it, you can send us an email to efmpoppin@gmail.com with your name and telephone number, and our writer Eugene will get back to you as soon as possible. Also, if you want to participate in all the TBS EFM's broadcasts via Kakao Talk, you can do that by adding us as a plus friend, and it's pretty simple. All you got to do is open the app, tap the More menu on the bottom right hand of the screen, and then select Plus Friend. Simply search TBS and then add TBS EFM as your plus friend. And when you add us, you can participate in all our broadcasts by sending text messages, pictures, video files, and it's all free of charge. That's the best news of all. Nobody wants to spend money nowadays with the economy and all that stuff. Anyways, with that said, now it's time for the word of the day. So I'm not sure if you guys were able to guess the word of the day today by the song. It was a bit tricky, and I'll just say that today's word was actually in the title, but not the title of the song, but the name of the group. Yes, the song was Fight for Your Right to Party, but the word isn't fight, right, or party. So today's word comes in the group's name. And that means today's word is either Beastie or Boys. So which one do you think it is? Yes, it is Boys. And why did we pick this word? Remember, like I said earlier, it's getting to, it's going to be summer soon, and people are starting to wear less clothing, more revealing, sensual outfits and stuff like that, because it's getting hot outside. You don't want to wear a sweater in this hot, steamy, sticky weather. And, what do you do when you want to relieve yourself of the heat? You want to go to the beach. Exactly. You want to go to the beach, all the dudes are checking out the girls and the girls checking out the dudes in their surfer shorts and all that stuff. And I remember back in high school as well, I'd go to the beach every summer vacation and do the same thing. That's what you do. That's how you chill with your friends. It's the fun thing. And, when you go to the beach, that's called eye candy. When you just look at people, you can't really do anything. You just look. Anyways, I kind of feel bad today isn't live, so you guys can't really request and send any requests. And I know you guys have some creative ideas for our word of the day. But we actually have a fun-packed day for you guys. We got the song set up for you guys. So just tune in, listen, don't change that dial. And we'll also, the second half of the show, we got Eugene. And, of course, I know all you listeners out there are big fans of Eugene because I see all the tweets and everything. Anyways, since today's word up word of the day is boys, we got to play a song with boys in it or about boys. And the next song was prominently featured in the first edition of Dance Dance Revolution. I don't know if you guys know that DDR is that video game where you actually have to like step on the little, the arrows and you got to jump up and down. I am really bad at that game, but I've seen some legit professionals and you guys are crazy on that machine. You guys are doing backflips and stuff like that. I'm like, what do you do on your free time? Anyways, this is a song from that video game. This is Smile DK with Boys. That was Boys by Smile DK. Now, coming up on today's show is Thursday, so that means Eugene will be here for Poppin' News. We're going to be talking about some trifling people, crazy folks around the world. And, you guys are probably going to be tuning in and thinking, this is some weird news. Are they making it up? No, it is all true. That's the saddest part of Poppin' News. So if you want to find out what's going to happen for that, you guys have to stay tuned for the second half. Now, you guys know that today's word up word of the day, that's like a tongue twister for me. Word up word of the day is boys. So, who is better than experts about boys than 9 girls who spend all their time together and probably are forbidden from having boyfriends or in contact with boys. Their families don't want them meeting boys because, a lot of guys might think, I'm dating a celebrity. So these girls have the perfect song about boys. You know who I'm talking about. These girls, actually, these ladies, these lovely 9'8" ladies. I'm actually close to a few of them, so we chat once in a while on the phone. We text each other. Stop tripping, all y'all fans out there, because that's all it is. We're just, it's like a brother and sister relationship. So I know you guys probably figured out who I'm talking about. This is 소녀시대, aka Girls' Generation with The Boys. That was 소녀시대, aka Girls' Generation with The Boys. Now, the final song of the first half is by a Canadian artist, a female Canadian artist named Avril Lavigne. And it's got a really good message for a lot of people out there who probably don't know what the song is about. That I'm going to play for you guys, of course. So remember back in high school, you guys had the cool crowd and the nerdy kids. And then you had all these different little cliques and circles in high school. And if you wanted to be a cool kid, you couldn't hang out with the nerdy kids. And if you were a nerdy kid, the cool kids wouldn't hang out with you. In my experience from high school, I thought that was wrong. People are people. You can't judge somebody because of the way they were born. Anyways, it turns out, kids that were less popular in high school, of course, they had their own thing. You had the group of kids who played their own little sports or kids who had these weird hobbies. And one group I remember actually was friends with this group. It was a skater group. And even though I was part of the nerdy group plus the cool crowd, I had a mix of friends in every crowd, like 1 or 2 friends. So I wasn't, hated on by any clique or group. But this one group I was actually intimidated by because I was really bad at skateboarding. So I never got time to actually get to know these friends. But if you guys are tuning in from high school back in Jersey, y'all, I hope you guys doing well. I want to learn how to skateboard. I know it's a little too late for me now, but anyways, you guys probably got the fact that I'm setting up the next song for you guys right now. This is Miss Avril Lavigne with Skater Boy. You guys listen to TBS efm, What's Poppin', and we'll be right back after a word from our sponsors. Welcome back to What's Poppin', and now it's time for Paparazzi. I know a lot of people, this is probably your favorite corner on our show. So in the first half, as you know, we did a little talking about the girls group, Girls' Generation, of course. And today's paparazzi story comes from California, specifically the Chavez Ravine Stadium where the Los Angeles Dodgers play, and involves Stephanie Huang, a.k.a. Tiffany from the Girls' Generation group. Now, she was given the privilege of throwing out the first pitch for a game between the Dodgers and the Arizona Diamondbacks. Now, this kind of thing happens all the time where celebrities get to throw the first pitch at baseball games. And catching that day was Korean pitcher Ryu Hyun-jin. So for a K-pop artist to throw at the LA Dodgers game, that's a pretty amazing thing. So what's more amazing about the story? Well, listen to the tweet made by the Dodgers. Tiffany's first pitch, out of the strike zone, but still adorable. Yes, out of the strike zone. Now, I saw this clip. It wasn't just out of the strike zone. It was like she meant to hit somebody on the side or something. That's what it looked like in the video. And yes, I agree with the tweet. Still adorable. Yes, Tiffany, you're still adorable. To be honest, since you and I are close and we keep in touch, you are a better singer than you are a baseball player. But I'm only saying that because, I'm your oppa and we know each other. If I didn't know you, I wouldn't say that. But anyways, you did a great job. You look very cute and beautiful with your long, flowy black hair. And when you threw the baseball, I'm pretty sure a lot of Girls' Generation fans were out in the field thinking, I want to catch that ball. But unfortunately, it didn't go that far. So maybe next time. Anyways, Tiffany, don't be discouraged. There'll be another time. Or maybe instead of you throwing the ball, you can have, somebody in your group throw the ball. And with that said, right now, we're going to play a song for you guys about a guy who wants to play baseball but isn't quite good enough. So, no connections with you, Tiffany. So this is John Fogerty with Center Field. And we'll come back to What's Poppin' News for Poppin' News. How are you doing, Eugene?
I'm good. How are you, Brian?
I'm very good.
So in the last part, we were talking about your friend Tiffany and baseball skills.
Yeah. Well, you can't really blame her. I mean, I don't think she's a big baseball fan.
No, that's true. But actually, I saw that pitch, and she was actually better than some other artists that have actually thrown the ball.
If it was me, I would have thrown weird, too. I'm not a good baseball thrower.
She did better than MC Hammer. Actually, Hammer.
What do you mean? How did MC Hammer do it?
He threw almost directly to the first base. I would say it was really bad.
Okay, so Tiffany, look at that.
She did better than a professional athlete. You remember Carl Lewis? Yeah. He was even worse. He threw it and it went 3 feet in front of the mound. That's it. So Tiffany, actually not that bad.
Tiffany, you had some speed on that ball. You did. For a girl. Yeah. You did great.
That's true. Yes. But you were saying, maybe you could get a different member from Girls' Generation to throw. Which one do you think would be best at throwing?
Maybe Sion?
Maybe? Yeah. Yes. Or what's the one that's really good at dancing? I forgot her name.
Really good at dancing? They're all good at...
Hyun. Yeah. Her.
Yeah, Hyun would probably be good, too, because she's very athletic as well.
That's true. Yes. True. Or the Cookie Man. Anyway, let's get into the news. The first news, this is very trifling, actually. This comes out of which state? Not Florida, but Georgia. Georgia is right next to Florida.
Closer to Florida than any other state, yes.
This actually comes from Fox News, which is a news source that is, wonderful and reputable for everything. But the story is called Booked. Woman charged for stealing a Bible. So she got caught shoplifting in a bookstore, but what did she steal? She stole an edition of, the Holy Bible, which that's very ironic. Why would you, if you read the Bible,
it says thou shalt not steal, but you're stealing something you're not, that's telling you not to steal. Wow.
But the investigators say that the woman, whose name is Ashley Chakari Fleming, she tried to steal the Bible from a Barnes & Noble located in Cobb County. In Georgia. And she left the store without paying for the book, and she's been charged with theft, and she was released on a $1,000 bond.
All right.
But this is really weird, because if you need that book, you can just go to church and they'll give you one for free. Many hotels have these, that you can just take out of the hotel room for free. So if you really need this, you don't...
Wait, the ones in hotel rooms are for taking?
Yeah.
I thought they're only for reading in the rooms.
No, you can take it if you want. They'll replace it later. There's actually this group called the Gideons, which their mission is to distribute as many of these as possible. So if you take it out of the hotel room, they'll just give them another one. I mean,
in this story, obviously she stole the Bible because she didn't have money. But to get a hotel room, you still need money.
Well, that's true. Yeah. That's true. But I mean, she could just go to a church and be like, "Hey, can I have a Bible?" And they would say, "Okay, sure." Go ahead. I mean, this is just dense. I don't know what possessed her to try to steal this. I mean,
I'm pretty sure she's probably not a wise person. She's new to the whole Christian life, and she probably didn't know churches gave Bibles.
That maybe that's the case. But this is a clear example of obviously she needs what she's stealing, right? So I think we should, give her the pass. I'm sure they'll be very lenient on her because the bookstore, honestly, they're not losing that much money. But still, stealing is wrong. So
it is wrong.
Don't go out and steal Bibles because of this. But, I think you'll be all right. I mean,
as long as she's not stealing a book about how to make a bomb or how to kill a person, those kind of books, you got to have to worry about those kind of people.
But can you actually buy those books in regular bookstores?
No, I don't think so. But I'm just saying, if they had books like that, that's when you need to
start
worrying.
No, they do have books like that. There's one called...
In bookstores at Barnes & Nobles?
Not necessarily. I don't know about in bookstores, but you can get them online. It's it's one called The Anarchist's Cookbook, where it teaches you how to make many different things, including nuclear bombs.
Why would they even make a book like that? People are sick.
To promote anarchy? I don't know. I mean, it'll tell you how to make Actually, I learned how to make a nuclear bomb in chemistry class. It's not that difficult.
I'm going to stop hanging out with you.
You just need to have the right chemicals, and those are impossible to find. So, it's not like that information will...
All right, starting tomorrow, we're going to have a new writer, y'all.
What are you talking about? Well, it is our day off tomorrow, right? Okay, so let's go on to the next story. This
Yes.
one comes actually from the Huffington Post. And Brian, do you like chocolate bars?
Who doesn't?
Who doesn't? What is
Yes.
the weirdest flavor that you've ever had?
Actually ate chocolate covered, I think, grasshopper when I was younger.
Chocolate-covered grasshoppers.
When I was younger, like in 8th grade.
Wow, I remember the chocolate-covered ants that they had, and
Yeah.
there were chocolate-covered bees, but
There's a
grasshoppers,
grasshopper.
those are huge.
Not those big ones.
Oh,
It's
like
the smaller grasshoppers.
like crickets then.
Yeah.
Okay.
But on the box it had grasshoppers.
That is weird, but I mean, like, you know, sometimes when they have the chocolate bar, it'll have like the caramel in the center, or
Yeah.
the strawberry filling, or something like that, or even in Easter they have the chocolate eggs, right?
Yeah.
And those have that cream in the center. But this one, actually, in Ireland, there's a company called, well, Tea Company, because I can't say the name, I suppose. They made a chocolate bar with cheese and onion in it.
Ew!
Does this sound like something you put on a pizza, right?
Well, actually, you know, there's such things as chocolate covered bacon.
Well, that would be delicious, I think.
They sell it at
You know
that-
who would like that? Annabelle Ambrose.
I know,
She's always
people at her
talking about
gym eat it.
Bacon all the time. Oh, she is?
Yes.
Okay.
People, no, not her, I'm saying people at her gym eat it.
I bet you she
people
would
bring
eat it.
it.
Actually, no, she's into the
And I
paleo
think that
thing
Mexican
right now.
restaurant in Itaewon, the V restaurant, they sell it too, I think, now.
They sell chocolate bacon?
Yes.
I will have to try that.
Ew!
No, that sounds really delicious.
Ew,
you
Tingle-row.
think about it, though. Like, if you have the maple-covered bacon from time to time, remember? I mean, like,
It's maple covered bacon.
it's like bacon covered in maple syrup.
Well, that sounds delicious.
Yeah, it is delicious. So, you know, sweet and meat, what could go wrong? I mean, chocolate must be good. But anyway, talking more about... What are you
Talking more about-
talking more about the chocolate bar. So onion and cheese chocolate. This was made
That
in
sounds
Ireland.
disgusting, yes.
It was a response to a social media campaign led by the fans. There were 100,000 bars created in all, and everybody sold out in probably about 2 days, it says. 10.4% of the people in Ireland wanted to eat this, but they couldn't get it. So it went off the Richter scale with almost 500,000 impressions, according to the company's CEO. So that is a very interesting type of chocolate that you can get in Ireland, and they're trying to export it to the U.S., and maybe we'll get it in Korea. But let's go into the next song. This is related to the first story about
Yes.
stealing. So this is Jane's Addiction with Been Caught Stealing.
That was Jane's Addiction with Been Caught Stealing.
And in the break, you said you never actually heard this song
Never
before.
heard this song before.
What were you doing in the mid-90s, during the grunge era? Were you not listening to grunge?
I was never into grunge.
Oh, okay. So you're all into
I mean,
like,
I heard
hip-hop
once,
and
I
everything.
loved hip-hop.
Okay, well, that makes sense.
Yes.
There was a huge divide back then. Like, when I was in high school, it's either you like this or you like that, and you couldn't
That is
like...
true, but
you
I
couldn't
mixed
like
my
both
friends.
of them.
I mean, you can like both of them, but you still have friends in different little circles, like the kids in school
Yeah.
who liked hip-hop and stuff like that.
Okay, well, I mean, in my high school, it was like, if you like this, you couldn't like that, because, you know, also it was like racially
If you like
divided.
Naughty by Nature, you could not like Metallica.
That's true.
you know.
But the one group that I did like was Onyx. You remember them?
Slam! Da, 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 da. Let the boys be boys!
Yeah, that was amazing. But let's go on to the next story.
That would have been a perfect song today. Let the boys be boys.
That would have been a good song.
Yes,
Oh.
but we forgot about that song.
Oh,
It's all good. We'll play it
well,
another time.
We could. I'll figure out how to get it into the show next time.
Yes.
This next story, this is actually, you might think that I was involved in this. The story headline is, a Ghostbuster and a stormtrooper were assaulted, and the Green Lantern was
Why
a
would you
witness.
think that I thought that you'd be involved?
Well, because, you know, clearly I'm a geek, according to all the people on
You're
Twitter.
not a geek. You're just a super, uber cool guy.
Thank you, Brian.
Yes.
Thank you. No, I do have an affinity for the science fiction, but
Mm-hmm.
basically this story, you know, what do you think it could possibly be if a Ghostbuster and a stormtrooper are assaulted and the Green Lantern is a witness? That's kind of weird, right?
I got a feeling these people were in costume and they did something weird in public.
Yes, they were in costume.
Yes.
So this comes from Portland, Maine.
Alrighty.
There was a free comic book day celebration. So
Ooh.
I guess the comic book store was
Giving
giving
out
away the
free
free
comics.
comics.
Okay.
And, you know, the people came in costume to, I guess you get the comic if you're in costume.
All right.
So you have the one person dressed as the stormtrooper from Star Wars, of course. The other one dressed as a Ghostbuster. And the third one was dressed as the Green Lantern. And suddenly somebody came in. His name was Adam Barnes. He was 31 years old. And he went to the Coast City comic book shop and he assaulted two of the costume men, which is terrible. I mean, why would you want to assault anyone, right?
Yeah.
So basically what happened was that he was intoxicated and he attacked the stormtrooper and then kicked the Ghostbuster. And meanwhile, the Green Lantern was watching by the side. And when the police came by, they were questioning him, and they said, well, what happened? He's like, Mr. Green Lantern, what happened? He's like, oh, well, this guy came in and punched the stormtrooper. He was explaining it, but they wrote his name down on the police report as the Green Lantern.
Wow.
So it could be enemy. I don't know if that's going to hold up in court, but that is pretty funny. So what is the weirdest thing that you have ever done in costume, though?
Me done in costume?
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever done
that you
anything
can mention on radio.
I don't think I've ever been in costume. Like
Halloween, right?
I was never in costume. My parents. All right, I'm gonna put my parents out.
You didn't
in
celebrate
blast.
Halloween.
Of course, I celebrated Halloween, but my parents were a little thrifty growing up, and they didn't want to buy us a Halloween costume. Mm-hmm. So remember the hefty cinch
I do remember that.
Trash bags.
Yes. You pull the ends and it closes by itself.
Yeah. So I used that 3 years in a row as a ghost outfit.
As a ghost
two
outfit.
holes, yeah, in it. So.
Wait, the white one?
Yeah, the white trash
you shouldn't
bags.
put the plastic bag over your head.
You leave a hole in the face area. And then, I was a ghost, so I really didn't do much. I couldn't move my arms much.
Well, I was a ghost for Halloween before. You're supposed to, like, put armholes in there, too, right?
Yeah, but when you're walking around with a trash bag, people are like, what are you, a trash? What are you, trash? Walking trash? Like, I got ridiculed.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
So I really didn't get to do much. So, yeah.
But
what about you?
My best costume or worst costume? What are you asking? I mean,
what is the worst thing you've ever done in costume?
The worst thing I've ever done in costume.
Keep it G-rated, please.
I can't really think. I guess when I was going trick-or-treating, I was a little bit too old for that. I was probably like... No, the last time I did it, I was probably like 15, actually.
You're not old. People still do it in the States when they're 18.
Yeah, but you're supposed to stop in middle school,
There's
right?
no rules.
I guess there's no rules. But yeah, I was 15, and I walked around the neighborhood and found the person's house. It was this girl who wouldn't go out with me.
You found one of those baskets, right?
Which?
I thought you meant you went to a house with one of those baskets when the people don't want to answer the doors.
No. I've never done that. But this person was a girl who I had a crush on, who rejected me publicly in school. So I threw eggs at her house, and her parents opened the door.
Don't you do that on mischief night?
Well, you're supposed to do it. You're not supposed to do it.
I mean, you're not supposed to do it. Oh, yeah. Police children in the States do not do this, but there's a day before Halloween, the 30th of October.
Is that called Mischief Night?
Yeah, in New Jersey, it's called Mischief Night.
Ah.
And kids would go around throwing toilet paper, eggs, soap in cars.
That's terrible.
Yes, but it happened all the time. So I wouldn't say, okay, since we're talking about weird things that happen in costume, I wasn't really in costume. Actually was, I was wearing like an army outfit with my brother because we're trying to protect our house on Mischief Night. So we're standing outside our house. I had the hose in my hand. My brother had, I forget what he had. I think water balloons or something. So the cops roll by on Mischief Night because, of course, they have to be careful, neighborhood watch.
Yeah.
And they see me hiding in the bush. Oh. And they assume that I'm trying to attack our own house.
Oh, man.
Not knowing it's our house. So I remember the cop flashing those lights from the police car. And he's like, oh, you in the bushes, can you please come out? And I'm like, uh-oh, what did I do wrong? So I go out, and he's like, what are you doing here? I'm like, oh, this is my house. He goes, do you have proof? It's like, well, knock on the door and ask my mom.
That's hilarious. So did they do that?
And we went up to the house, like, ma'am, this kid was standing in front of your house. We're just making sure he wasn't trying to cause mischief to your home.
Right.
He goes, no, he's my son. He's watching for other kids trying to cause mischief in the neighborhood. And I remember...
Oh, so you were on lookout.
I was pretty much on lookout.
All right.
Yeah. It was fun. And then whoever would walk by that I assumed would, throw eggs at our house, we'd just get them wet with a hose.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Actually, no, I do remember something else funny. It wasn't something that I did in costume, but it was hilarious. In college, I used to work at the Hallmark card shop. And so we had to dress up as, like, Santa Claus and the reindeer and the elves and everything. So I was wearing this ridiculous elf costume, right?
Okay.
And then it was a little bit too small for me, and the boss was saying, hey, can you go find this particular item that was really low? So I had to bend down to get it, and then I ended up splitting the pants of the elf costume.
Please say you have underwear on.
Oh, yeah, of course. But everyone was laughing at me, and I was like, hey, Mom, why doesn't Santa Claus just buy that guy or make some new pants for his elf?
How old were you?
I was in college, so
that's embarrassing.
Yeah, it was embarrassing, and these kids are laughing at me seeing my heart-shaped boxers and everything. It was ridiculous.
Oh, you have heart-shaped boxers. That's kind of cute.
I don't remember
Alrighty.
what I was wearing underneath there, of course, but yeah. Anyway.
Okay. Well, thank you for bringing in some crazy news as you always do every week.
And personal anecdotes.
Yes. But that's all the time that we have for you guys today. We want to thank you guys for tuning in to What's Poppin' and Poppin' News, of course. We have the last song of the hour for you guys. This is Kobe Calais with Something Special. And this is Brian Ju and
Eugene Huang.
signing off.
Peace.